Guys, and welcome to the Tim's Sports Talk. We got a recap of the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Redskins, aka the football team. Tough day for our beloved Redskins. They fell 34-20, and it did not look pretty. I have some things that I said we needed to do to beat the Cleveland Browns, and a lot of it was not achieved, unfortunately. I'll pull that up real quick. But you have Haskins with 4 turnovers today. He had 21 for 37, 224 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks for 18 yards lost. And then he also had 2 fumbles. 1 of them were lost. And it's just not good. You got to play better than what Haskins showed. And I predicted that we could get a hold of Baker Mayfield more and make him cause him problems. And he had no turnovers today, only got to him 2 sacks for 14 yards. We did get a lot of pressures on him, but we needed a lot more out of our defensive line. Unfortunately, Chase Young went out early in the first half. So that hurts. And then Matt Ioannidis also went down. So we just didn't have as much pressures as I want. But Montez Sweat had a really good game. I really like what I saw out of him. He had a lot of pressures, and I believe he may have been both sacks, to be honest. No, he only had 1 sack, but he was all over Baker Mayfield, making a move around the pocket. But he was pretty much the only one that I saw consistently getting in and around Baker Mayfield, which really stinks when you have 3 other first-round picks, plus obviously Chase Young got hurt. Let's see here. Pull up what the Skins needed to do to beat the Browns. And number 1, get a fast start. And honestly, that wasn't too bad. We did not go down 17-0 like we did the last 2 weeks. We actually were winning 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. So I like to see that. So that one, I guess I could give us a check because we did not start slow. Tackle, because Chubb and Hunt are 2 of the best tackle breakers, if you will, of avoiding being tackled. And we actually started okay, and then when Haskins started throwing those picks, our defense really started to fall apart against that run game. They had, I believe, an 11-yard run for a touchdown. Chubb also, I believe, had like a 30-yard run, 25-yard run for a touchdown. Not very good when you want it, but we bottled them up somewhat consistently in the first half. At one point, Kareem Hunt was 6 carries for 6 yards, which is pretty good. Sports fan all day, I am not going to read what you just posted, but I can understand the sentiment because what happened today was not good for Dwayne Haskins. All 3 of his interceptions were staring down people. It really sucked to watch that. What's up, Spoiled 8-Fit Gaming? Tough day for us over here. That's what's up, and it's not what's up. Continuing down this, number 3, we had to protect Haskins to win this game. And honestly, we didn't do that bad of a job. 3 sacks on the day, but when the game was tight, we actually protected Haskins relatively well today. He just kept staring down people to throw interceptions. So that did not work out. And then also that last sack that was a fumble, Haskins had a pocket to step into, and he just stood there, and he didn't step into the pocket to then avoid the sack, which then turned it into a sack fumble, and Myles Garrett recovered it. Can Alex Smith please come back? He's not healthy. He will not play again. He does not have it under. He's not even suiting up for us on the sidelines. He's just not healthy enough to play. We would have won if Trashkins didn't play. I would not agree because Kyle Allen would be behind him, and I don't see much coming out of Kyle Allen. But what you should have said to change that a little bit, we would have won if Haskins did not have 4 turnovers. If Haskins did not play poorly, we could have won that game. So that is the difference here. I'm sorry, but he probably a bust time to draft a new QB. I said he was going to be a bust when we drafted him, but what do I know? But I did not like the pick when we drafted him. But, I guess I'm in a position where I have to hope that he can turn it around. We're not going to say after 3 weeks, definitely draft a QB. Like, he has 13 more games to prove us wrong, to do something else. So that's, you just can't say completely bust on him yet, because he's got 13 more games to prove it, but he's had 3 games in a row of not very good. What are you going to do? I would like Trey Lance a lot more than I like Haskins. I agree with that. Kyle Trask. I know nothing about Kyle Trask, but I do like Trey Lance. Spoiled Aphid Gaming. Look, get the first round pick and draft the kid from Clemson. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. I have to look more in, and I will, because that's probably where we're going to end up drafting is a quarterback. But I am not completely sold on Trevor Lawrence yet. I got to look more into him. I'm not. Better than Haskins? Is that really enough at this point? Saying somebody is better than Dwayne Haskins? Is that really like, oh, he definitely deserves to be drafted in the first round? I don't think so. So that is not exactly what I would say that is the bar that I want set to draft a quarterback in the first round. But Trey Lance is better than Haskins, and I think Trey Lance is and should be worth a first-round pick. 3 seasons and no results. Pretty much. No, wait. From Haskins? No, this is only his second season. He was drafted last season. So it's 2 seasons here. And, well, technically not even a full 2 seasons. He hasn't played a full season as far as the number of games yet. I believe this was only his 8th or... No, more than that. Sorry, 10th maybe start? 11th start? Something like that? I don't remember now off the top of my head. Joe Burrow is and was better coming out. There's a reason he was the number 1 pick overall. Everybody saw what he did in LSU. Everyone is seeing is what he's doing in Cincinnati right now. And yes, Joe Burrow has shown a lot just in the last 3 weeks. He has shown a lot. I like Joe Burrow a lot. I wish we had the number 1 pick because, yes, we should have and would have drafted Joe Burrow. And then it would have been a really interesting headline because in Ohio State, Haskins beat out Burrow to start in Ohio State, and then that's why Joe Burrow left to go to LSU, and it would have been an interesting story of now in the NFL, the switch where now Joe Burrow potentially could beat out Haskins. But I'm not going to go hindsight, it's 2020 or anything like that. This is what we have now, and so far Haskins has not played well enough to say that he has the starting job next year. He has 13 more games to prove us all wrong. What can he do? Haskins needs to be bench bro for who? Chrissy, who? Who are we put? Are we really going to put in Kyle Allen and expect anything different? Is that really what we're going to do? Carolina stunk with Kyle Allen last year. I mean, he threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns last season. Who are we putting in place of Haskins this season? Who? I want Trey Lance, a.k.a. Russell Wilson 2.0. Agreed. Pretty much the same 40-yard dash. Very good arm, accurate, very good quarterback. I completely agree with that comparison, Russell Wilson 2.0. Spoiled life and giving. When I saw him play today, I thought it's time to get a new QB. He not looking calm and not confident. So far, I can't disagree. Hell, call Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, here's my hot take. He doesn't want to play in the NFL. He makes a whole lot more money being a martyr in the NFL. And so he will not play again. That's why he did not show up to that tryout. It was a publicity stunt. He makes millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for sacrificing everything for his cause. Yet he makes way more money being over there with Nike. Colin Kaepernick does not want to play in the NFL again. Kyle Allen would throw throw more touchdowns than him. Maybe, I don't know. I don't see Facts, Colin will save this team. Well, I just told you my take on Colin Kaepernick. So that's what I honestly believe about Colin Kaepernick. Shake my head. Dwayne Haskins just isn't the answer. So far, I agree. I agreed that I didn't want to draft him. I actually sent the, I believe it's the Iron Man meme of Tony Stark walking away from a blowing up mountain right when we drafted him. I hated the draft pick. But that's where we are today. Shake my head. Dwayne Haskins is the next. Nope, sorry. Terry McLaurin needs the ball more. Agreed. There we go, Chrissy. We found something we agree on. Terry McLaurin is legit. That was a bogus push-off call on the sideline. He just swiped. He didn't even extend. He swiped to get his arm off. They called a push-off. Bogus call. But other than that, Terry McLaurin had a really good day, and he's a beast. Chrissy, they need to run Gibson more as well. Not enough touches. Gibson is a monster. I really like what I'm seeing from Gibson. I guess I shouldn't say monster yet. That might be a little. Let's temper it a little bit. But I really agree that Antonio Gibson's was a steal in the third round. Very, very, very good. Sports fan all day. TD Eagles. Did they beat the Cincinnati Bengals yet? I don't know. I don't care about the Eagles anyway. But should trade him for a second or third. Trade Haskins? If somebody would trade Haskins right now for a second or third round pick, yes, please. Like nobody is going to make that trade. But absolutely, if somebody came over and made that offer, I would do it in a heartbeat. Eagles tied it, huh? Let's pull it up. ESPN. Buffalo snuck back by the Rams. The Rams came all the way back, and Buffalo took it 35-32. Wow, Titans came back. But no, I made a bet on the Titans to beat the Vikings by 2.5. And right now they're going to beat the Vikings by 1. Can I get a pick 6? Can I get a pick 6 or something to make this 2.5 bet? That stinks. Let's see here, the scores. Eagles, touchdown, Elliott. So 23-23. Joe Burrow. He'll have 21 seconds now. They'll go into overtime. They'll go into overtime. I hope the Bengals win it. I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, man. 28 for 37, 289 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. Tyler Boyd again. 9 receptions, 114 yards. Very, very good. Well, even though we lost today, I'm sure Dallas will lose, so we'll still be on top of the division regardless. But it's just sad, man. We had the game won. Dwayne just threw it away. I don't disagree with basically anything you just said because it's Dwayne Haskins lost this game. I don't care how much you love Dwayne Haskins. I don't care. I don't care how many excuses you want to throw out at him. I don't care everything you want to say. Dwayne, this loss, the last loss, I do not hang on Dwayne Haskins. This loss is place it on top of him. This is his loss. 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 1 lost, a 17-point swing before half because you throw 2 picks that end up on our side of the field, putting our defense in bad situations. Then you have another pick. We had 3 touchdowns, 24 points off of your turnovers. This is your loss. It stinks. I don't put the last loss on top of him, but this one is on him. Spoiler forgiving. It looks bad. Daniel Jones looking better than him. Well, Daniel Jones was drafted ahead of him, and a lot of scouts liked Jones ahead of Haskins, and there's a reason he was drafted number 6. Haskins is a bust. As I said, 13 games to try to dissuade me or whatever, try to bring me to his side. He has 13 more games to do it. Do not bench Haskins. We have to prove that he is not the quarterback with these next 13 games. Falcons choking leads again. Hope it cheers you up, Washington. Is the Falcons really ready to lose this game? Oh my goodness. No, they're not. Shut up. Are you serious? They're going to let Nick Foles come back and win this game? Oh my freaking Falcons. Well, now it doesn't matter what happens in the Titans game because I picked the Falcons to win this one. I had a 3-way parlay. Falcons over the Bears, San Francisco over the Giants, and Titans over the Vikings. This is nuts. Falcons. Let's see. Sports people just take up for Trashkins because he's. Well, I'm not going to finish that. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I just look at Dwayne Haskins as a quarterback and tell you what I see as a quarterback. I don't care about none of that other bull malarkey. Plus, we got the Ravens next. That'll be another loss. We needed this one, man. Dang, we have the weapons, in my opinion. We just don't have an identity, and we don't have a QB. We have a tight end at QB. Like, come on. Speaking of tight end, that is something we're lacking. I don't think Logan Thomas is good enough. Jeremy Sprinkle is not good enough, and maybe this Marcus Ball could come out to be something, but he's not playing much. We need a tight end, a safety blanket, for Haskins. That's something I think we're lacking. But yes, QB is a big deal right now. Where's Thaddeus Moss and Antonio Gandy Golden? Antonio Gandy Golden had a couple of nice plays today, including that one sweep run. He had he did have that tough drop. So I like what I'm seeing at Gandy Golden. I love that pick in the 4th round. But Thaddeus Moss apparently was ticking off the coaches. Apparently the coaches were like, "What are you doing? Like, you are not doing anything we're asking." He was sucking it up in practice. So apparently Thaddeus Moss did not impress the coaching staff, and there was rumors that the tight ends coach just tore into him one day in practice, and he ended up getting cut. So Thaddeus Moss apparently was not the answer either. Yeah, and he's garbage. Says sports fan all day. Spoiled it from getting bro. As a Saints fan, all I need to make this better is a Buccaneers losing, and I'm happy. Buccaneers will not lose today. Who are they playing again? I have them winning, and it shouldn't be even hard. Broncos, yeah, with Jeff Driscoll at quarterback. Buccaneers, I'm sorry, buddy. I know you're a Saints fan, but they will not lose today. And I think that your Saints are going to lose to a really good Packers team. But I will root for your Saints because I think the Saints, a lot of people were talking trash about the Saints last week losing, and their secondary deserved it. But the people were making the stupid thing of Drew Brees should be benched for Jameis Winston. Stop. Drew Brees had one bad pick, which was really, really bad because it made it a 17-point swing because Raiders scored a touchdown. Then he threw a pick, scored a field goal right before half, and then scored a touchdown coming out at the half. But no, just stop with the benching of Drew Brees. I think they'll have a little bit of a bounce back, but I think the Packers might be too good for you guys to beat right now. Sports fan all day. Or we just should have drafted Tua. There's an argument with that, but I don't think you could have drafted Tua because you don't know what he's going to come out with his injury. So I think drafting Chase Young was your best option, or trading out of the pick, but nobody wanted to come up and get that pick. So I like Chase Young. It stinks that he got hurt today, but I heard it was a sprained groin or a strained groin of some. So it's not going to be season ending or anything, and it's not career ending by any stretch. So Chase Young was the right pick. Oh, there you go. Chrissy says exactly the same thing. No, Chase Young was the right pick. Completely agreed, Chrissy. If defense shows up, then we good. Defense has to do better than they did last week against the Raiders. Good grief. The Saints defense was terrible against the Raiders. 4 touchdown drives of 9 plays or more coming from the Saints defense. Not good. We need to put in Cameron Curl and take out Apke. Our defense could be a top 3, top 5 easily, but the offense is so bad they keep the defense out there so much and they get tired and exposed. Hapke is a little bit of a problem. He did drop a pick. I know some people are going to be like, oh, OBJ knocked it out of his hands. No, it went right through his hands and hit him in the head. And Apke took bad angles on some Chubb and Hunt runs. Apke was a problem, and I didn't like that pick in the 4th round when we made it back, I believe, in 2017 or 2018. But whatever draft that was, I thought that was a reach for him, and I think we could have gotten him a little bit later. I think he's been okay, but being a 4th round pick, I want to see more out of him. But I do think right now as a starter, he is not the dude. It's not good to watch Apke play safety for us. I do not like it. Patriots crushed the Raiders today, 36-20. Raiders don't have a good defense. Sony Michel crushed it. 9 carries, 117 yards. He was my sleeper pick, but I haven't started him yet because I wanted to see what he's going to do. Maybe I can get a start out of him. Who y'all play next? The Ravens. Yeah. We need to play the Ravens like another hole in the head, right? Like, this is not... We do not want to go face the Ravens, but that's who we got. And Lamar Jackson's ready to put it where the sun don't shine. Terry McLaurin is probably our only pro... False! Fake news! Not our only Pro Bowler. Stop your nonsense, because you know Tress Way is a Pro Bowl punter. Tress Way is the best punter. Okay? He does not do touchbacks. Stop it. You know Tress Way is a Pro Bowler. Like, bro, we need a Patriots disciplined defense. Your defense is not even that bad on paper. It was just so bad last week for the Saints. Yeah, so it's, yeah, obviously every team needs the New England Patriots discipline. That, if you can get that, then that's better. Okay, sorry. Okay, you said Chrissy on offense. He's our only Pro Bowler on offense. Okay, I can agree with that. I believe. I don't think we have another Pro Bowler yet. Yeah, actually, on offense, I think I agree. Is he our only Pro Bowler? Haskins definitely is not. Antonio Gibson's not. None of our offensive line is. Definitely not our tight ends. And the rest of our receivers, no. Yeah, so Terry McLaurin is our only Pro Bowler on offense. Agreed. What else we got here in the team stats? Yeah, our defense didn't play all that bad, man. 5 for 14 on third down. That's not bad. Time of possession kills us, man. 33.5 to 26.5. Time of possession needs to be better to win games. And that's something that Alex Smith was fantastic at, was winning the time of possession battle. Falcons blew another lead. Unbelievable. 29-26. They're so bad. It's hard to say tank when we still in control to keep our number one seed in our division. Like, we gotta take advantage of that. I don't like tanking at all. I understand the idea of tanking, but something that Miami did last year really cemented into my mind, where they wanted Tua Tagovailoa. They just, everybody's saying they're tanking for Tua, but instead, what do? They finish the year, win 5 out of their last 11 games, because they went 0-5, and I think they went 5 out of their last 11 games. Really showed up. I think they beat the Patriots the last week of the season to ruin their bye week, and that coach, Brian Flores, really has made a culture of not tanking and not losing and never giving up, and that's fed into this season already, and they look a lot better. I think they're still 1-2, but they played the Patriots. That's a tough loss, and then they played the Bills, where they almost won. They lost 33-30, and then obviously they just won a convincing game against the Jacksonville Jaguars team, and I don't like tanking. Well, it's time for Alex Smith return. He'll make the right decision with the ball, and if nothing downfield, he'll check it down, which Haskins don't do. He's staring at one player the whole time. Haskins did stare down the player the whole time, but no, Alex Smith is not healthy. I love the Alex Smith story. I love the Alex Smith comeback. I love Alex Smith, and I would love for him to come back. I said that if Alex Smith was healthy, you start him week 1 over Haskins, because I think that Alex Smith is the best quarterback on this team, but he's not healthy enough to play. It's only unique. Kyle Allen, I will say it again, Kyle Allen is not going to do anything better. You cannot bench him for Kyle Allen, especially not after 3 weeks. You have to let Haskins, as a first-round pick, continue to play, and he has 13 games to prove us all wrong. Right now, he's 0 for 3 in games where you would say he played well or didn't play well. He did not play well in the first 3 games. He has to do better. If he's not healthy, I agree with you. Yeah, he's just not. That's why he hasn't even suited up on the sidelines. You're telling me Kyle Allen is the better backup to Dwayne Haskins over Alex Smith? Absolutely not. If Alex Smith was healthy, he would be suited up on the sideline as the backup to Haskins, and that's not the case. He continues to be in street clothes. He's just not healthy enough to play. The Eagles win in overtime with the Bengals. They trash. Joe Burrow, Rookie of the Year, easily. Joe Burrow's the Rookie of the Year. Completely agree. What are they doing right now? Penalty put them back. They're 2nd and 21. The Bengals are with 6:18 to go. They may tie. Burrow might get a tie before he gets a win. I'll try to call the Eagles for Jalen Hurts, Chrissy says. I am not a Jalen Hurts fan. I like his personality. I like his leadership. I think that he has really good qualities that way, but I do not think that he is a quarterback in the NFL game. I don't think he quite has the arm for the NFL game, and I think he doesn't have the speed to be that running quarterback or mobile quarterback. He has a little bit of wiggle, but nothing crazy. And so Jalen Hurts is not somebody that I see being a great NFL quarterback. So no, I would not go for Jalen Hurts. We need a mobile QB. Trey Lance. People said it before. I agree with Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance might be the answer at QB we're looking for. And that could get really interesting if we can get our hands on Trey Lance. Falcons lost. Wow, 17-point lead. Didn't they had a bigger lead than 17 points, didn't they? What's the game cast? It was 26-10. Okay, so no, it was a 16-point lead. But yeah, they've outscored 20-0 in the fourth quarter. And they blew a big lead last week, obviously, to the Cowboys. And I think, who'd they lose to? Seahawks last week? What are they in the fourth quarter? Like 50-7 in the fourth quarter or something? Yeah, the Falcons have been just awful. What did they do against? I know they played the Cowboys. What? I don't want to death yet. What was the game cast? They were outscored 16-10 against the Cowboys last week, 20-0 this week, so that's 36-10. And then against the Seahawks the week before, they were outscored. Oh, they actually outscored them 10-13. Okay, so their fourth quarters haven't been as bad as I thought. You fire everyone on the Falcons. At this point, why wouldn't you? This is absolutely ridiculous. Chrissy, I'm tired of losing, man. It's not like we lose because the other team is better. We lose because we make dumb mistakes and our play calling starts to slow down. We were good in the beginning. I am not on board with blaming the play calling. You can't blame the play caller when your quarterback stares down three receivers and throws 3 picks and then also does not step up in the pocket and fumbles the ball. I do not agree with play calling. Now you need to make a video on the Falcons. That's just sad. maybe I do need to highlight the Falcons because this is crazy. They are the worst team with the best roster I've ever seen. We should have gotten Cam Newton. For the price that was paid for Cam Newton, there is 0.0 disagreement from me. If we could have got Cam Newton for that price, absolutely. But I don't think he would have played for us for that cheap of a price. So it starts to wonder, where do we pay him? How much do we pay him? Because we already have 20-something million wrapped up into Alex Smith. So we don't really necessarily have the money for a QB. But also, Cam Newton is not somebody that stays healthy, unfortunately, since 2015. So I'm glad that he's doing well for the Patriots. But anybody that was going to play, if Jared Stidham was playing, they would have the same record, the same, like, Patriots are just a different beast. They make everyone around on their team better. So I do not necessarily agree with the Cam Newton play. They really lost no way. A 16-point lead, bro. Falcons are now known for blowing the most leads. Is that actually a true stat? You might be right, because they're definitely after today, and then obviously with the Super Bowl, and I'm sure there's a lot more that you could probably count on. The Falcons are not good, and and you can't even really blame, like, I don't know. I guess like you can blame the offense somewhat, but the offense is scoring. I mean, they scored 25, 39, and 26 now. So they're averaging nearly 30 points a game. So you can't blame the offense. It's defense that has just been absolutely garbage. So I don't blame them so much. But let's see here. Anything else? You know what, though? You know what's actually positive about the Redskins right now? Very positive. Okay? Very, 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 very positive. 4 penalties for 40 yards today. One of them was garbage for the Terry McLaurin pass interference. Our penalties are so much farther down. We're much more closer now to the middle of the road, maybe even top half of the league in penalties. That's coaching. That is discipline. We are turning a corner with this coaching staff of limiting our penalties, not letting our penalties absolutely destroy us. And that is a very, very, very good sign for us. I really like to see that number. They actually were the ones that had 6 penalties for 50 yards. Ours was 4 penalties for 40. They had more penalties than ours, and that is like unheard of for us in the last 5 years probably. Under Jay Gruden, our penalties were abysmal. Let's see here. Let's go out and get Gardner Minshew. Anything is better than Haskins right now. I like Gardner Minshew more than I like Dwayne Haskins. I agree. He had a bad week last week, but he had a couple of bad drops that really killed drives. If the Jacksonville Jaguars really actually don't want Gardner Minshew, I would not mind getting Gardner Minshew for real. For the right price. Obviously, I'm not trading the house for Gardner Minshew, but if we can get him on a good deal and an interesting positive thing for us, I would not mind him being our starting quarterback. I feel bad for the Falcons fans. I would never have said that in the past. How do you not feel bad? Any fan base that has those kind of losses, they easily should be 2-1 right now, and with a Saints team that seems like it might have some holes on defense. Tampa Bay has not been crushing it so far. I think Tampa Bay will turn it on, but you would be 2-1 right now. Very, very interesting with no division games yet, and no division games until week 5, and that would be a Panthers, so that they should have won that, but who knows what they'll do. And they don't start playing the real division games until later in the season. They finish with the Bucs 2 out of the last 3 weeks, and then the Saints, they play in the middle of the season 2 out of 3 weeks. So yeah, they really needed to start winning these games, but they're toast. If Dak goes into free agency and leaves Dallas, I'll throw some money at him. No, I disagree. I do not want Dak under what the kind of the contract he wants. He's looking for 35, 40 million a year. No way. If I'd pay Dak 20, maybe little less than 25, maybe. If we can get him at like 23, 24 million a year, which is not what we could get him, but he's going to ask for 32, 38, 42 million probably per year, and it's just absolutely bonkers that he would expect that kind of money. In my opinion, he's not that good. He's not worth that kind of money. Dallas is, what are they doing? They just started their game yet? Their game just should have started. Yup. The Cowboys are actually really not a bad team. They have a lot of talent. I know I hate the Cowboys as well, but they're actually a really good team, and it sucks that they pulled out that win. I mean, if that's the case, then we're better off tanking for a new QB than because one way or the other, if Haskins isn't the guy, we got to get somebody. That's Okay, correct. If all we cared about was getting the best possible QB at the best possible price for next season, then yes, the best answer is to tank. Correct. But the thing is that if you tank, you create a very poor culture, which is not something that Ron Rivera and this coaching staff wants to do. So no, you play the best players at all times and try to win as many games as possible. And you let Haskins either prove or disprove he's the guy. Maybe you bench him sometime in the middle of the season. If we all of a sudden lose the next 4 games in a row and he continues to play like this, bench him for Kyle Allen, see if you can get something out of Kyle Allen. And if you don't get any good results in the second half of the season with Kyle Allen, then you have to go get a new QB there. But you do not want to just completely tank. Cowboys losing today. I want that to happen, spoiled infant gaming. But I think the Cowboys could surprise you today. The Cowboys are not a bad team. They're really not. I think with this new coaching staff, and they lost to a pretty good team in the Rams, and then they made the comeback against the Falcons. They shouldn't have won that game, but this will be a very good measuring stick for the Cowboys, and we'll see what comes out of them this today. I was just gonna say we have too much talent to tank. We had enough talent to compete with anyone. We just need a QB that don't make mistakes, makes the right play. Correct. Alex Smith could make this a 9-win team. 100%. He's not somebody that's flashy, not somebody that's going to get 350 yards a game. Nothing like that. He's just going to average, your 210 yards a game, maybe a touchdown or 2, but then he's going to have 4 or 5 picks on the year and very little fumbles, and he's not going to have a lot of turnovers, and you can win a lot with Alex Smith. That's why he's won everywhere he went, but Alex Smith is not. If the Jets want to move on from Sam Darnold, I'm not super opposed to that. I don't know as much about Sam Darnold, but I'm not. I don't put a knife in that. I don't think I don't say that that's a crazy possibility, and especially since Sam Darnold has not played all that great. Like, it's Andy Dalton from Dallas is not a horrible option either, especially if we can get him for the kind of contract that Dallas got him. Basically, it's just a way any quarterback could be okay for the right price, almost. Like, especially everybody that's mentioned could be an okay option for us at QB next season for the right price. It's just, how do you get him? What's the trade for him? What's the price for him? Like, there's all these things. None of these guys that we've mentioned, I would send the house for. Like, he's going to change our franchise. So that's the balance that we have to take for whatever quarterback we get. But Sam Darnold's interesting. I got to go back and look more into Sam Darnold as far as what is his actual problem. I know the Jets just stink. Give away Haskins? At this point, if at the end of the year somebody will trade for Dwayne Haskins, I completely agree. But there's no way somebody's going to trade for him. There's no way someone got to take him. Chrissy says, I don't think so. Who would make that trade? Who? You tell me which team. Which team would go ahead and try to make that trade? I don't see it. I don't think that anybody would make that trade. What team's going to be desperate enough to trade for Haskins? Who? There's nobody out there trading for Haskins. Jags and Jets are going to trade for Haskins. No. Just no. They're both going to have high draft picks and they're going to draft QBs. Why would they do that? The Bears have Nick Foles. Nick Foles ain't that old. Mitch Trubisky's hot garbage, but that was the worst trade in playoffs history, draft history. Good game. Love from the Browns fans. My friend plays for your team. So TT Wims, you're a Browns fan. Congrats on the win today. I'm I'm sure you're very happy to see Haskins play terrible. Yeah, how old is Nick Foles? Nick Foles ain't all that old, right? He's got to be. He might be actually older than I give him credit for. That might not be completely correct. I'm looking him up now. Hold on. Nick Foles is only 31. I mean, that's nothing. 31 years old? Yeah, absolutely not. No, Drew Lock is a good quarterback for the Broncos. He got hurt. No, Broncos like Drew Lock, and I like Drew Lock. That is facts. Drew Lock is really good. Shout out to Isaiah Wright, though. Isaiah Wright, he had an interesting game for the first time. Like, we played him for the first time at a consistent basis. He had that great pass breakup. He had a couple of end arounds and screens that looked pretty decent, making some guys miss. I actually like a lot what I saw from Isaiah Wright. I agree. I will just trade him, I guess you meant, for a third. If somebody would give a third, that's insane. No, nobody would trade a third. I agree, Wims. Isaiah Wright showed some good stuff today. I like what he ended up with this final. I'm sure he didn't have anything great, but he was interesting. Isaiah Wright, 1 carry for 6 yards and 4 catches for 24 yards. Yeah, a lot of them were screen passes meant to be slow, but or like short rather. And he made a couple of guys miss. I liked what I saw from Isaiah Wright. He was very, very interesting. God, man, those throws to Dontrell Inman were so good by Haskins, though. But then you just have these plays where he's just looking at a defender and he goes, here, take it. Yeah, 21 for 37 completions, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks from Haskins. It's just not good enough. And then 2 fumbles, 1 lost. That's just not nearly good enough for your starting quarterback. And so he's 0 for 3. 0 for 3 so far, Dwayne Haskins. You have 13 more games to prove us wrong. Please prove us wrong, because drafting a QB is going to set us back. Because what we need to draft as Redskins is a new left tackle. We have to draft a left tackle. But what sucks is that if you don't have a quarterback, then you have to draft a quarterback. So this really stinks. Terry, Antonio, Gandy Golden, Isaiah Wright. That's a great duo right there. Plus Steven Sims and Antonio Gibson with our running back. Our offense should be moving great. Yeah, I agree. I like our offense. We need a tight end. We have tight end problems, and we need a left guard. Wes Martin is not the answer at left guard. It's really bad. So trade for a backup QB from the Colts. Who's the backup QB for the Colts right now? I know Rivers is their starter. Who's their backup? Colts. Depth chart. Oh, Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett. It's not a terrible option. It's not a terrible option. I don't hate you for saying that, but I don't hate you for saying that. I wouldn't be absolutely pissed if we made that trade for a decent play right now. All right, here we go. What do we got? Wims. I'm going to follow you guys all season. I love Gibson to my second favorite team. Great defense as well. Thanks, Wims. I'm glad that we're your second favorite team. I'll take it. And I do love Gibson as well. And awesome. Yeah, this might not be the greatest season to follow because I don't know how many wins we're going to get this year. I predicted a 6-10 season, 5-11 season, something like that. So it's probably not going to be your most exciting, especially with Chase Young hurt. That's going to hurt. No pun intended. That's going to hurt real bad. Chrissy, we should have run the offense through Gibson and Terry McLaurin. That's our identity. Agreed. How many carries did Gibson have? Oh, sorry. This one right here. 9 carries for 49 yards. That's over 5 yards a carry coming from Antonio Gibson. And it was only a long of 13. He hasn't exploded for the big play, which he's capable of. I agree. Give this guy Antonio Gibson needs about 15, 20 carries a game, and that's something. And you were in the game up until the fourth quarter. Why is he only at 9 carries? Like, give him the ball more. I agree. Give Antonio Gibson the ball, and Terry McLaurin only have four catches. Well, he did have 8 targets, but yeah, I would like to see that to be like a 10, 11 targets with 6, 7 catches for Terry at the minimum. Steve, why didn't we put Kyle Allen in the 4th? You have to let Haskins finish out what he's doing. If by week 8, 9, 10, if he's still stinking it up, then we can move to Kyle Allen. 3 games is not nearly enough to put any sort of exclamation on what Haskins is. You have to let him play. That's why we did not put Kyle Allen. Gibson needs at least 15 to 20 carries. I just said that. Completely agree, Chrissy. Completely agree. Terry needs at least 10 to 12 touches. Touches, I would love him to have 10 to 12 touches, but I would like to see at least 10 to 12 targets. I think we can agree on that. Wims, I'm a Browns fan. I don't need wins, but you guys have so many playmakers and young talent. I love it. Plus, your defense is really good. Hopefully, Chase Young is okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't need wins. I'm a Browns fan. That's funny. I completely understand where you're coming from, Mr. Wims. That's pretty good. I don't need wins. I'm a Browns fan. At this point, letting Haskins go makes a massive cap hit. Trading him is the only way. He's not a massive cap hit, is he? He was a 15th pick. They don't get that big of contracts. I think he might only be like a mil or two, right? He's not nothing crazy in his second year. Haskins. Cap hit 3.2 mil. He's nothing on the cap. That's for QB. That's pennies. Especially considering we have 24 million, basically 25 million cap space this year, and next year we have 55 million cap space. So that's chump change. We don't need to get rid of them for cap. Chrissy, Cameron Kroll should be a starter. I agree. At this, I don't think Apke should be the starter. Whether that be Cameron Kroll or not, we do need something, and I would like to see Cameron Kroll a 7th rounder or 6th round draft pick this year, late round draft pick. And if we can get a starter out of a late round draft pick, that's huge. I did not like the Cameron Kroll pick from Arkansas, so if we can get a starter out of him, that's huge. That's huge. He's played great. He could tackle really well, and he has his heart. He has heart, and he can cover. I haven't paid too much attention to Cameron Kroll. I've been watching this D-line while on defense. I can go back and look at some film on Cameron Kroll. I will make a note, and I will do that. I go back and rewatch every game, so I will make a note and to watch for Cameron Kroll. Can you search the Saints cap? Yeah, sure. You guys have 8.3 mil cap space remaining. Drew Brees is a 23.5 mil cap number. That's pennies for what he gives you. That's really good. I see. That's the kind of number I would give like a Dak Prescott or some middle of the road, like to higher end, like a top 10, but top maybe between 10 and 15 quarterback. That's a number that you want to see. And Drew Brees is this year maybe not top 10. I don't know. I'd have to think about it more. But he's arguably top 10 talent even this year at age 40. So I like that. Cameron Jordan, under 10 million. He's a really good pass rusher for under 10 million. I like that. I kind of like how you guys handle your cap space. Jared Cook is probably too high at 9 mil. Taron Armstead is really good at 8.3 mil. Michael Thomas at 7 mil. He's probably about to ask for a huge contract. When was he drafted? 16, 17? I don't know, something like that. Drew Brees, of course. And then outside of that, you don't have anybody over 10. Which is good. That's not what we have. Or actually, that might be something like what we have right now. But no, it's not. Alex Smith is a 20 mil cap hit, not playing. $20 million. basically poop it in the toilet. Landon Collins is a 14 million cap hit. Ryan Kerrigan 11.5. So we have 3 guys over 10, and Morgan Moses is an 8.5. Chase Young, big cap hit. Holy moly! Second overall pick gets a huge cap hit. Man, a freaking first year rookie, $6.3 million for a cap hit. Wow. Okay, fair enough. Matt Ioannidis 6.2. I like that. Kendall Fuller 4.1. That's going to go up though. I think we paid him a decent amount. Should we pay Marcus Williams or let go of Rankins? Hey, the good thing about all of this, we still lead the division. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. And maybe the Seahawks can keep us there. We're going to struggle next week. But after that, who do we have week 5? Who do we got week 5? Week 5, we got the Rams. That's tough. But then we got the Giants. That should be a win. We should get a win against the Giants. Maybe we could pull out a win against the Cowboys, and then we got the Giants again. We could get run off some wins here. We can run off some wins. And got the Lions. They stink. Cincinnati's okay with Joe Burrow. We could beat them. Dallas again. We have a stretch there. We could probably win some games, even though I think Dallas is really, really good. Then we got Pittsburgh. They're pretty good. San Francisco is beat to hell. We may be able to beat them. Seahawks are really good. That's going to be tough. Carolina's not good, and Philly's not good. You know, after the next 2 weeks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With how beat up San Francisco is, we have a good shot at winning any of the 9 games on the schedule. So all of a sudden, that's a 10-win team if we pull that out. That's crazy. Crazy. Giants got killed today. Yeah, they stink. If we beat the Ravens, we don't have no more excuses to lose games. If we beat the Ravens, holy moly. If we beat the Ravens, don't even get me so excited. Stop it. We're not going to beat the Ravens. Okay? Oh, man, if we beat the Ravens. Chris, we could win those games. It's just the offense that's the problem. We could win. We could win 9 out of the remaining 13 games. We could win more than that. Anything's technically possible, but I think we have a theoretical, really good chance, a fair chance, at winning any of those 9 games. Ravens are really good. They're destroying the Browns the week 1. Ravens are a problem. Ravens are a real problem, and it starts with their quarterback, but their defense, their cornerbacks are insane. Their defensive line is really good with Calais Campbell and Matthew Judon and Derek Wolfe. They're a problem. And Patrick Queen, their first-round pick, is playing really, really well. They are good. They are legit, really, really good. And I like their young receiving core with Marquise Brown, Miles Boykin. Then they have the old Willie Snead. They have another guy, Duvernay, who's young, who they just drafted. The Ravens are a real problem. How many receiving yards did Terry have today? Scary Terry had, I believe it was 86 yards? 83 yards on 4 catches with a long of 33, and he should have had over 100 with that. No, he should have had over 90 with that last catch that was called back. Cowboys down 9-3 already. Boom, let's go. Come on, Seahawks. We're rooting for the Seahawks today. Redskins doing good of cap. Yeah, their cap. Our cap space is nothing. What upcoming free agency? That's an interesting thing to look at. 2021 free agency. '21 free agency. Let's see here. That's useless. Why? I guess I should say NFL free agency because they gave me NBA free agency. Oh, Mitch Trubisky is a free agent? Are you serious? We got to go after Mitch. Come on, man. Second overall pick. Got to go get Mitch. Robert Griffin III is a freaking free agent. Come on, RG3. Let's get him back. Oh, man, there's some options out here. Are you serious? No. He's a Browns fan, Chrissy. That's why he's saying he would trade Odell for Scary Terry. Yeah, no, he doesn't want Odell either. No, so yeah, I agree. Scary Terry is. I think he's a really, really great receiver. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, RG3. Could you imagine? God, look. Colt McCoy is a freaking football player, and he's a free agent. Colt McCoy? Come on, man. We got to go get Colt McCoy. Do something with it. I agree. Let's do something with it. I love Terry. I wanted him in fantasy. I kind of wanted to stay away from him in fantasy just because I didn't know where our offense was. But as far as a talent, he is up there, dude. He's a fantastic talent. Terry's a top 5 receiver. Easily need a QB and more targets. That's the I love Terry. Terry could definitely be a top tier receiver in this league. I love Scary Terry. Matt Schaub is still in Atlanta? Holy crap, how old is Matt Schaub? He's got to be like 40 years old. $39. Yeah, 39 years old. He's still a quarterback in the league? Holy crap. Man, 10 years ago, I would have really liked some Matt Schaub. I would have liked Matt Schaub 10 years ago. He was good back in Houston days. CJ Beathard is interesting coming from San Francisco. I may be interested in getting some CJ Beathard as a potential backup QB or maybe, crazy starter. Jameis Winston could be interesting. He's actually not, he throws a lot of interceptions, but he got LASIK eye surgery, man. He got LASIK eye surgery. Now he knows who's on his team. I would actually like Jameis Winston. I loved him in Florida State. I remember watching his first game ever, and he threw something like 18 passes in a row for a completion to start his first college game. And honestly, it should have been 19 passes because the receiver didn't stay in bounds. And there's actually an argument that he did stay in bounds, but the refs called him out. If there was a way to overturn it, that could have been interesting. Oh, what's up with Justin Herbert, man? I'd rather have him than Haskins. Herbert is mobile. I liked Herbert coming out of the draft. I really did. He's a big body dude, big strong arms, does have some mobility. There's some things that Herbert obviously needs to work on being a rookie, but I do like Herbert, and I liked him coming out of Oregon. Spoiled Infant Gaming. If Luke from Panther came back, I would open the bank for him. Oh, Luke Kuechly? Is that what you're talking about? Luke from the Panthers? Is that what you meant? Is it Luke Kuechly or Lou Kuechly? I always get that mixed up. I think that's what he's talking about. Hell, isn't Logan Thomas a QB? Move him back to QB? Could you imagine Logan Thomas as our starting QB? That would be wild. No, okay, yeah, Luke Kuechly. I always get it. Is it Lou Kuechly or Luke Kuechly? I agree. Luke Kuechly is a beast. It's Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly. Okay. That extra K in his last name always gets me confused on Luke Kuechly or Lou Kuechly. Okay, let's see here. What else we have? Running backs. Kenyon Drake's a free agent. We don't need a running back though. Receivers. Who's a receiving option? Allen Robinson, free agent. I'd like Allen Robinson. Kenny Galladay from Detroit. I would like him. I'd take some Kenny Galladay. Let's see. What else we got? There's some interesting receiving. Juju Smith-Schuster. I would take him. Yeah, there's some interesting receiving options. All right, tight end. Tight end, somebody we need really bad. Let's see here. Is there any tight ends that look interesting? Hunter Henry. I would take Hunter Henry. Yeah, not a whole lot in the tight end department on free agency. I don't know how I feel about Juju. I like Juju. I think last year it put a lot of bad tastes in his mouth because he had no QB throwing to him. Mason Rudolph was hot garbage, but I think Juju's pretty good. Delaney Walker. I didn't see Delaney Walker as a free agent. Is he a free agent? He's old now, though. I do like Delaney Walker, but Delaney Walker, man, he's got to be probably, what is he, 35 now? 34? 36. Yeah, Delaney Walker's not the answer. He's too old, Chrissy. I'm sorry. Our corners actually aren't, they're young, but they're not too bad. I actually don't mind our corners. I don't necessarily really like Ronald Darby, but I like Fabian Moreau a lot. I like Kendall Fuller. I like Jimmy Moreland, and Danny Johnson's still interesting. Michael Pryor, do you think it's time to play Kyle Allen? When is enough enough? I've gone over this a few times, but no problem. I'll go over it again. I do not think that you bench Haskins yet. I want to give him as much time to prove us wrong as possible. Maybe if he continues to play like he has, maybe I would give up on him maybe week 8, week 9. But he has 13 more games, in my opinion, to prove us wrong, and you got to let him prove us wrong or prove us right. Kyle Allen's not the answer. He's not going to do much better. So, no, you do not play Kyle Allen. Terry is a number one. Terry is a number one. 100%. 100% agree, Wims. Spoiled it for gaming. Look, sign Galladay for a $30 million for 3 years. Take that any day of the week. Any day of the week. I would take Kenny Galladay. I like him a lot. Big body guy. What is he, like 6'2", 6'3"? He looks small on the field. It's funny, but I'm pretty sure he's a big body dude. 6'4". Holy moly. 6'4". Yeah, I would pay him any day of the week. He's really, really good. Also, Troy Apke is abysmal. He needs to go. Yeah, we talked about that. Definitely agree. Definitely agree, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, he's definitely a problem right now. 100%. Troy Apke's a big problem. He just doesn't have good angles. He doesn't come after a running back with good angles to stop the runs, and he doesn't take good angles as far as to make plays on the ball for breaking up passes. He also dropped that pick. Everybody, I talked about this earlier, people may act like, it got knocked out of his hands by Odell Beckham. No, he went here and the ball hit him right in the head and bounced off of it. And you could go back and watch it. He did not get that ball knocked out. Yeah, there's not a whole lot in the tight end department, unfortunately. Oh, wait, Jonnu Smith is a free agent? Oh, I completely changed my mind. Tight end from Tennessee, Jonnu Smith. He's legit. Go get him. I like him a lot. Left tackle, if Baltimore somehow doesn't pay Ronnie Staley, definitely taking me some Ronnie Staley. Really, really good offensive tackle. We did do a decent job on the run game. I agree, Wims. Towards the end, you had Chubb in the second half start to get away, but that's what your guys do. You have the best running back duo in the league, and they wear you down, and they're two of the best guys at breaking tackles, staying on their feet. They have fantastic centers of gravity where you can hit them and they stay upright. Very, very good hard-nosed runners. But I agree, we had a lot of short yard running plays. A lot of their plays came at gash plays, real big plays that made his stats look a little bit better. What did he end up on the day? 19 carries, 108 yards. That's really good. He had a long of 25. He had a 15-yard run play for a touchdown. Yeah, no, I agree that we did a pretty good job at the run. At one point, Kareem Hunt was 6 carries for 6 yards, and that's a fantastic day for stopping against Kareem Hunt. That's crazy. First sign a receiver, then a lineman, last QB for draft, one boom, team fixed. Boom, team fixed. I'll take it. No, if we could get... I really like Trey Lance, so I think Trey Lance would be my favorite right now, and if we could somehow get our hands on Trey Lance, fix our left tackle spot, which may have to come in the next year's draft, but fix our left tackle spot, and then our receivers are actually interesting. I don't mind our receivers. And then we need a tight end. So switch that receiver for a tight end, and I think that's interesting. Looking at Kyler Murray makes me laugh at how bad Haskins is. Two completely different quarterbacks. But yes, Kyler Murray is legit. I give more credit to Washington. You played hard. I felt one they beat the line. Your secondary missed tackles. Once they beat the line, the secondary missed tackles. I can agree with that. There was that touchdown by Chubb was a bad missed tackle by Landon Collins. Troy Apke was garbage all day, and there was a lot of missed tackles by our secondary. Sims played better today, but that position still needs improvement. Also, what is up with Hopkins lately? Dustin Hopkins was never really the kicker, in my opinion. Like, he was never really the guy. I knew that we liked him because he could do touchbacks, which was a big deal for us at the time because our kickers at the time could not get touchbacks. I think we had what's his name? Kai Forbath maybe before him, and he couldn't kick it out the end zone. So we went and got Hopkins because he could kick it out of the end zone, but he was never a great kicker where he had a great accuracy. So with another PAT miss today and a field goal missed in week 1, Hopkins is on the hot seat for sure. We would have won this game if Colt McCoy was in. No, just no. It's no. I wish. That's funny. No, not Colt McCoy. The Browns know all about Colt McCoy. They know all about him. The Browns know Colt McCoy. They definitely don't want that problem. We don't either. We don't need Colt McCoy. Yeah, Sean Swisham was another guy. No, wait, Sean Swisham was a little bit before him. I think Kai Forbath was the one right before Dustin Hopkins. But yeah, we got him because he could kick it out of the end zone on kickoff, which was very, very important. I wonder if Tress Way can do that. You know, because Pat McAfee was a punter, but he did kickoffs. And so some punters do kickoffs. So I would say that maybe we could have Tress Way kick the kickoff return and just kick it out of the end zone every time. Let him start on the 25. I don't care. Just kick it out the end zone every time, and then we can go get a more accurate kicker. But I would love a accurate kicker that could kick 50 yards, within 50 yards at money, like every time. So, yeah, let's go get. We definitely are going to need to get a new kicker at the end of this offseason. 100%. 100. Keep it 100. Steve Sims is somewhat looking suspect. I remember I think it was on his first punt. He caught it and waited. I wrote it down somewhere. It's one of the first punts. Yeah, it was after the second drive. They punted to us, and I said, "Run, Sims! Don't wait." He caught the ball and kind of like hesitated, and he let the defense kind of swarmed him. It's like, dude, just hit a hole. Morstead has in the past. Morstead has in the past for the Saints, and that worked. So I agree. Oh yeah, Morstead, your punter. Yep. No, maybe we could do something like that for where Trust Way come out and punt, and then we can go get a better kicker. Do we know when Sheriff, Love, and Young will be back? Young, I don't know yet, but it doesn't seem that bad. It could be like maybe 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how bad the groin sprain is. But he didn't he didn't hurt his knee or tear anything. He just pulled a groin, so he could probably be back within a month, I would say. Love, I don't know what's going on with Bryce Love anymore. Man, I like Bryce Love a lot coming from Stanford, and he just can't stay healthy. And then as far as Sheriff goes, he didn't get hurt as bad as we thought. So he could be back sometime soon. What is Bryce Love doing right now? Redskins injury report. IR list. Man, Bryce Love is not even listed anymore. So expected return for Brandon Sheriff is at week 6. Bryce Love inactive for week 3. Coach's decision. So it seems like Bryce Love is getting the treatment of he's just not getting the love, because right now we have Peyton Barber, we have J.D. McKissick, we have Antonio Gibson. So why suit up another running back? So I think Bryce Love might be actually healthy enough to play. We just don't feel as he's going to play. You look a lot like Brandon Sheriff. Funny story. That's hilarious. As my wife and other people have said that many times too. So that's pretty funny. She'll get a kick out of that when I tell her that later. When Brandon Sheriff was drafted, her cousin texted her and said, "Wait, did Tim just get drafted?" Yeah, so that's funny. That's pretty good. Do you think? Yeah. So just to completely answer your question, Mike Pryor, is Love seems like he should be healthy enough. We just aren't shooting up 4 running backs. And I don't necessarily think we need to. J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson have looked pretty good, so I don't think Bryce Love is somebody we need to rush onto the field. And Brandon Sheriff, he's on IR, expected to return week 6. And then the last one you said was Chase Young. We don't know anything about him yet. He's going to have to go ahead and get confirmation for the doctors. But I would assume that a groin would be 2 to 4 weeks. That is my expert opinion. Just kidding, of course. Gosh, that highlight's pretty dang good. I love Nick. I do really love Nick Chubb, and I like Kareem Hunt. So you guys just have such a good freaking run game. Mike Pryor, what are your thoughts on the turnovers? What needs to change to limit them in the future? Haskins just looked down every single receiver he threw it to. That's pretty much it. Then his fumble was he needs to step up into the pocket. He just kind of stood back. The defensive end came out. Myles Garrett, number 1 pick overall, beast, comes up and strip sacks him. But as far as his picks, he overthrew Logan Thomas, his first one, and he just stared him down the whole way. The safety basically could have called a fair catch. Terrible pick. Second one, was even way worse than the first one. He literally looked at Logan Thomas the entire way and let a linebacker come on and undercut the throw. Way too easy of a pick. Way too easy. And then the last one was crap. I'm drawing a blank on what the last one was now. The last one was in the fourth quarter. We were down by 4. What was the last one? Crap. I'm drawing a blank on what the last one was. Logan Thomas is trash as a tight end. Hold on. Now I got to really look at... Wims agrees that he looks down receivers. Let me look at the play-by-play. Hold on. Interception was Haskins deep middle intended for Thomas, intercepted by Carl Joseph. No, that's the first interception. Hold on. The last interception intended for Inman. Yeah, okay. Gosh, I'm just drawing a blank of what that one looked like. How is this possible? No. I'm looking it up now. I'm almost certain what I remember of it is that he looked down at his receiver, but Week 3 highlights. Okay, hold on. Let me find this pick, and I will give you more info on it. We're down by 4. Haskins' accuracy is awful. I mean, how do you overthrow a screen? He's either too high or too low on throws. Shake my head. He's just awful. I agree as far as the here we go. I'm going to look at this one again. You may Madden. Like, right, we need another Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, or Chris Cooley. I feel like this is the first time in Skins history we haven't had a legit tight end. Speaking of Thomas suck. I think I agree with you, Mike Pryor. So, okay, the last pick, he was kind of getting hit as he threw, but it still was a terrible behind throw to Inman, where, again, he just stared down Inman the whole way, and it made it way too easy. You may Madden. Is that meant to say you play Madden? And if that's the case, I don't really play Madden. I don't really care to spend $60 on a new game. I did pay for the last one. I paid for 20, but to get 21, I didn't really feel like paying another $60 to get essentially the same game. I think they need to make a lot of adjustments to the franchise mode. That's why I like to get it. So I didn't really care to pay another $60 for a game where I didn't really like it. He would have had 4 picks if Isaiah Wright ain't save him. That first pick was really bad where Isaiah Wright saved him. You're absolutely right. That first interception was a horrible decision. Obviously, it was a bad throw, but really he was getting hit as he threw, and he tried to force it in there as he was getting hit. You need to throw that away. But that was a very bad decision that luckily did not end up as a pick, and we actually ended up scoring 7 off that. You're absolutely right. He could have had 4 picks. And if all things were correct, he should have 5 picks on the season because against the Eagles, he threw one right into the defender's hands, and he just completely dropped it. Did the freaking Eagles-Bengals game end in a tie? They ended in a tie. Joe Burrow got a tie before he got a win. Let's go around the NFL real quick, see what's going on here. We got Colts beating up on the Jets 17-7. Panthers putting a number on the Chargers 15-7. Buccaneers beating the Broncos 10-3. Yeah, I don't see the Broncos winning this game without Drew Lock. Lions are currently losing to the Cardinals 7-3. I don't see that game being really close, but hey, Detroit's knocking on the door, 2nd and 10 at Arizona 14, so they should, in theory, get points for that. Cowboys, Seahawks, 9-9. 9-9. AP in this game already has 13 carries and 66 yards. Wow, the guy's a monster. Golly, at that age, he's still doing it. I'm going to put on the Cowboys game here. You guys won't be able to see it, but that's okay. There's too many times where their RB underneath, he could have passed it to and kept the chains moving, but he keep trying to look downfield when nothing is there. I can kind of see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, you can't check it down all the time, and he threw a lot of quick screens. And so I understand what you're trying to say, but you eventually do have to go down. But I would like him to look at Terry McLaurin's way, not Logan Thomas and Dontrell Inman. Wims, I'm friends with Isaiah Wright. Really? That's pretty cool. Hey, maybe one day you can get him on the show then. Talk some Redskins football, dude. Talk to him, dude. Mike Pryor, do you think Landon Collins will ever get back to the Giants form? He was good there. I think he has some flashes here. I don't think he's that bad. Some people are not really impressed with the Landon Collins. I like Landon Collins still. I think he does a lot of good things, stops a lot of screen passes, gets in there in the run game. He did, as I said, he missed that tackle for Chubb, but you also got to give the other team some credit. Nick Chubb is really flipping good, man, and Kareem Hunt's really, really good. So I don't hate Landon Collins, but it depends on what you're asking him to do, because he's not a great cover safety. He's an inside the box safety. So the safety that I'm more concerned about is Troy Apke. We could have kept moving the ball downfield so easily. If it's there, it's there for him. He needs to get the ball out quick. He's not ready for down the field throws. His accuracy isn't good enough. That's probably fair. He needs more of a Tom Brady type offense. I agree. Let's go Washington. Tom Brady, I said this last week, or I said it sometime on one of my live streams. Tom Brady is the ultimate game manager. The ultimate game manager. Okay? A lot of people don't know this. He is undefeated in the playoffs when he does not throw a touchdown. He is the king of the check down. He's the king of taking what the defense gives him. He will run the ball 15 straight times if you're giving him the run 15 straight times. Tom Brady is somebody that everybody should look to. He takes what the defense gives him all the time, and I really appreciate that about Tom Brady. That's why I don't think he's necessarily the best of all time, but that's why he has the most Super Bowl wins, is because it's an extremely well-coached team, a very well-put-together team. The team is very well-disciplined, and he constantly takes what the defense gives you. He's obviously a bit better than just a game manager. He had a 50-touchdown season. He does a lot of good things, but why he's won so many is because he's the ultimate game manager, and he will take what the defense gives you every single time. That's exactly what Haskins needs to do. Agreed. Bill Belichick is the greatest defensive coordinator, in my opinion. He's the greatest coach of all time. He's, as I said before about Cam Newton, I said this last week after the Seahawks and Patriots game. He's the best at designing plays. Football plays. Not just offensive, not just defensive, not just special teams. He's best at designing plays, and he gets the right guys around him also to make him better. He's just the best of all time. And Snyder is the reason we can't get players like Brady. Instead, we're stuck with Trashkins. So Brady went to Tampa Bay because of the weapons. Can you blame him at age 42 or whatever? With Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Ronald Jones. Now he has Leonard Fournette. But at the time, he had just a plethora of weapons. That's why he went to Tampa Bay. And we were never, ever, ever, ever going to get Tom Brady. But he is the reason why we have, Haskins, is because that's what he wanted. Oh, Trashkins is his new nickname. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Somebody said that first I think it was Sports Fan All Day. I don't think he's here anymore right now, but yeah, Trashkins definitely seems to be what's trending as the new nickname. 4 turnovers today. Like, it's not good. 5 and 11, not very good. I'm from New England, and I'm stuck voting for the Browns in Washington. Surrounded by greatness, and you choose those two. 2 teams with fantastic history and can't put anything together in the last 20 years. I like Haskins a little bit. He had some flashes today, man. Those passes for touchdowns both to Inman were really good throws. And he did a little bit better job in a lot of ways of hitting the open man at a much better rate. But those 3 interceptions were so bad that it really overshadows everything. It sucks. I'm from Boston, but live in D.C. Everyone in D.C. is abandoning the Skins and laughs when you say you like the team. Well, the problem with D.C. is it's such a transient area. You're not the only one to be from somewhere else and move to D.C. because that's just what D.C. is all about. It's all politicians and everything coming in from everywhere, all the lobbyists. And so it's such a transient area where so many people come from so many different places. A lot of people in D.C. you talk to probably aren't from D.C. I would probably say like 50%. That's a lot. 50% of people probably did not grow up in D.C. That's a number made up out of my buttocks, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the number. And that's why every single home game is 50% fans from everywhere else, because that's just what happens. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I think I'm going to get off here for a bit. I will go live again after the Sunday night game. So after the Green Bay and Saints game, I'm sure I'll see you there, AFID Gaming. But the rest of you, please join me. I see I got a couple of new subscribers. Thank you for joining, and thank you for liking the video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for all your comments, a bunch of comments today. But please join me again tonight, and also I will go live after the Monday night game and the Thursday night game. And those of you who are big Skins fans can also join me live with my dad for what we call Skins in the Game. And then this week we may also bring back Beltway Battle, where I have a buddy who's a big Ravens fan here in Maryland, and he